Which history are you from? One governed by an evil AI. Here, we got evil SOBs.
Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring Klassic Sonya. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded, because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. In addition guys, please make sure to stick around in this video, because there will be a lot of new stuff. So without any further ado, let's put Klassic Sonya to the test. Klassic Sonya Blade guys was released on the 27th of January 2017, and her original price in the old store was 400 souls. So let's check out her stats. Her attack is 48,904, the 27th highest in the game and the 8th highest among the gold characters. The hit points, they are 94,944, the 30th highest overall and the 11th highest in the gold league. The toughness is 39,690, the 25th highest in MK Mobile and the 7th among the gold characters, and the recovery is 40,633, the 23rd highest overall and the 6th in the gold league. The power generation is 110%. So for her stats, Klassic Sonya Blade gets 18 points out of 28 possible. Neutralized, this is the name of Klassic Sonya's special one, and quite frankly this ability is very useful, especially considering her passive. What you need to know about it is that first, it can be blocked by the opponent, second, it has shield break as debuff, but please guys, keep in mind that it has it only on paper, because in reality it is useless because it lasts for half a second. Really, there is no way you can take advantage of this debuff ever, it disappears instantly. So this will be the first time when I'm not going to reward any points for the buff or debuff section for the special attack, even though the game is saying that the special ability has a debuff. Once again, it does have it on paper, but it doesn't work and it's not practical, you cannot use it whatsoever. Moreover, the ability can be cast from distance, even though the first mini hits will miss, but this is not a big deal because the damage is really neglectable. The ability is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks and it has the multi-tap circle as mini-game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is 16,138, the 35th highest in the game and the 15th highest in among the gold characters. The maximum damage is 32,276, again the 35th highest overall and the 20th highest in the gold league. Once again, the ability can be blocked by the opponent. Unfortunately, it has shield break as debuff, but we are not going to count it because it is totally useless. It can be cast from distance, even though the first mini hits will miss. It is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks and it has the multi-tap circle as mini-game. So for her special one, Klassic Sonya gets 6.1 out of 13 possible points. The American Way, this is the name of the special 2 of Klassic Sonya, and it actually refers to the good old days when MK1 was actually a thing, but now, more than 10 or even 15 years later, this ability still looks fun. Anyways, let's take a closer look at it. The special attack can be blocked by the opponent, it has slow as debuff. It can be cast from distance, even though at mid and long range. The first and the second mini attacks will miss, but this is not a big deal at all because the main damage is dealt on the other mini hit, so it's perfectly fine. The ability is lethal, it consists of 6 mini attacks and it has 2 mini games. The first one is the horizontal vertical swipe and the second is the single tap rectangle. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is 43,573, the 26th highest in the game and the 8th highest in the gold league. The maximum damage is 83,919, the 33rd highest in MK Mobile and the 11th among the gold characters. Very nice stats, by the way, when it comes to the damage of her special too. Once again, let's repeat the properties of the ability. It can be blocked by the opponent, it has slow as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 6 mini attacks, and it has the horizontal vertical swipe and the single tap rectangle as minigame. So for her special 2, Klassic Sonya gets 10.7 out of 19 possible points. Special Forces, this is the name of the X-Ray of Klassic Sonya. There's no surprises here, it looks exactly the same as any other Sonya's X-Ray in the game. What you need to know about the abilities: first, that it can be cast from distance without issues, and second, it has a very useful buff, and this is Shield. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-Ray is 98,443, the 42nd highest in MK Mobile and the 18th highest among the gold characters. Once again, the ability has Shield as buff and it can be cast from distance. So for her X-Ray, Klassic Sonya gets 3.7 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points she gets for her special attacks adds up to 20.5 out of 36 possible. Okay guys, we got to the basic attacks, and to be perfectly honest, I really like the basic attacks of Klassic Sonya. She's a really fast character, I do admire that. However, as almost any other character in the game, she doesn't have perfect chaining, she doesn't push opponents back if they're blocking, which leaves her vulnerable for counter attack. However, having very fast basic attacks kind of compensates for that. And there's another thing which I really hate about her basic attacks, and this is the fact that she has only one basic attack combo, which is very disappointing. A lot of characters have two, but she is one of those who only have one. I mean, it's not a big deal, but the character gets very boring if there's only one basic attacks combination. So in a nutshell, Klassic Sonya has really good basic attacks. They're very fast, however, as many other characters, she doesn't have perfect chaining. So I'll be giving her 4 points for speed and 3.5 for chaining, for a total of 7.5 out of 10 points for her basic attacks. Armour-Piercing, this is the name of Klassic Sonya passive, and here it is what it does, I quote: Sonya's neutralized special attack 1 deals damage to the entire enemy team and breaks their shields, also all spec ops on her team ignore enemy toughness. Now, quite honestly, before Cold War Sonya was promoted to Diamond, this passive worked better. Now, it is still serviceable, but it's nothing special. Let's analyze the first part of it. The special 1 deals damage to the entire enemy team and breaks shields. Once again, the breaking shield part is useful, but I mean, let's face it, how many Cold War teams are you facing? And if you are facing a team with Cold War Sonya and 2 other characters that are not Cold War, all you have to do is wait 8 seconds and 2 of the 3 shields will break. This is how easy it is. And quite honestly, there's another thing which I hate about this passive. I really don't hate it, but I still believe that everything that Klassic Sonya does when it comes to hitting the entire enemy team with special 1, Heavy Weapon Jax does it better. He deals more damage, he can totally destroy the entire team with one special 2, and Klassic Sonya cannot do that, unfortunately. Her special 1 doesn't deal that much damage. And the second part of her passive: all spec ops on her team ignore enemy toughness. Let's face it guys, this is useful only if you're facing, let's say, 3 Jaxes, because in 95% of the cases your attack will be higher than the opponent's toughness. Also, this will be useful in a situation when your team is not maxed. For example, let's say your Sonya or any other character in your team, which has Sonya inside, of course, is Fusion 7 and you're fighting Fusion 10 character. In this situation, having Klassic Sonya in your team will be beneficial, but outside of it, for example, if you have a fully maxed team, the second part of her passive will be almost useless. Because, once again, in 95% of the cases, you'll be facing characters with lower toughness than your attack. Okay, with all that said, I really believe that her passive is serviceable, it is okay, but once again, Heavy Weapon Jax passive is similar, it's almost the same, and in my opinion is much better. And not only that, he can destroy the team with one special 2, but the second part of his passive is also better. He's increasing the toughness of all your characters, which is, in my opinion, much more useful than ignoring the toughness. So for her passive, Classic Sonya will get 14 out of 20 points. She's just a Spec Ops character, so she gets 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, it is time to decide whether Classic Sonya is a good character. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. Her stats are okay for a gold character. Her special attacks are also fine, however she has two main drawbacks when it comes to her special attacks. The first one is that both of them can be blocked, and the second one is that the debuffs of her special attacks are very underwhelming, especially her special one. Once again, this debuff lasts for half of a second, which makes it totally useless. Her basic attacks are good though, I have no objections when it comes to her basic attacks, and her passive is serviceable, really nothing special, and once again Heavy Weapon Jax performs much better in this area. So I have to be honest here, I really like Classic Sonya. I do enjoy playing with her, even though I prefer Heavy Weapons Jax, but I recognize her as a fun to play character, and on top of that she can be used as a starter, she can be used or any place in your team, and she will be serviceable. So I'll be giving her 2 out of my 3 subjective points, and her total will be 63.1, and we can label her as good character. And on top of that, starting from today's video, we are going to announce the place the character is currently holding as of today's date, and with 63.1 points, Classic Sonya ranks 25th out of 36 reviewed characters. And by the way, on the screen now you should be seeing the current top 10 ranking, with our reigning champion being still MK11 Sub-Zero, who scored the incredible 87.1. And by the way, make sure to stick around until the end of the video when we are going to reveal the bottom top 10 so far. Anyways guys, Classic Sonya scored 63.1 and we can label her as a good character. Final verdict, good character. When it comes to the gameplay guys, Classic Sonya is both good as an opener and not as an opener. It totally depends on you and your playstyle. However, you have to keep in mind that if you decide to use her as an opener, most of the cases you need to equip her with more defensive gear, which will mean that she won't be doing that much damage. When it comes to characters that she counters, because of the nature of her passive, I couldn't think of any. However, I would say that she is pretty good against character with high toughness, such as for example Jax. So in a way she will be very good against Classic Jax, the Netherlands Jax, or in general any other character who has high toughness. And of course, in terms of characters who counter Classic Sonya, I could list some names here: disablers and power drainers such as Classic Raiden, Punk Cassie, and of course characters who can evade special attacks such as Assassin Jade, Relentless Jason, and so on and so on. When it comes to the gear guys, it all depends on whether you're going to use her as an opener or not. If she is your opener, then please give her Devastator as weapon. In the armor slot you can equip her with her military vest, and as accessory always give her Sindel Shrink. If she is not your opener, then you can also give her Devastator or Rat Hammer, it's totally up to you. When it comes to the armor, I usually give her either Shao Kahn's helmet or Earth Elemental face mask. Again, it totally depends on your playstyle and of course the fusion level of the equipment, and as an accessory you can choose between Bloody Voodoo Doll and Shansung Stone. Okay guys, we got to the teams. Now when it comes to the teams, quite honestly Classic Sonya is not a good support. I mean, the second part of her passive is not good for support at all, of course, except for those rare cases which I listed before. So most of the cases I want to use her as my main damage dealer and then choose 2 other characters who she can support. For example, a good team around Classic Sonya can be Classic Sonya, Balance Kenshi and Demolition Sonya, or very nice team indeed should be Classic Sonya, Demolition Sonya, and Covered Ops Cassie. This team is really strong. Of course, you can team her up with Demolition Sonya and Heavy Weapon Jax, or let's say Covered Ops Cassie and Heavy Weapon Jax. However, I really don't like this team because the point of it is to land the special 1 of Classic Sonya, then tag in Jax immediately and land his special 2 while the shield break is still on, but as I already mentioned, the shield break disappears in half a second, so you can never take advantage of it. So I wouldn't recommend teaming Classic Sonya and Heavy Weapon Jax in one team. I'm not saying that you cannot finish hard battle with this team, yes you can, but I prefer to use them separately. And of course you can, and by the way, speaking of Heavy Weapon Jax and Classic Sonya, you can do a troll team consisting of Kobujitsu Tanya, Heavy Weapon Jax and Classic Sonya. Point being, they all have special attacks which can harm everybody on the enemy team. And by the way, this is a fun team, I'm not going to lie to you. However, I do believe that if you pair her with 2 other support characters, it will be better and faster. Alright guys, Classic Sonya, what do you think of her? Do you like her? Do you dislike her? Please let me know in the comments. As promised guys, currently you can see the bottom top 10 of our reviews so far. Of course, this list is going to change with every review that we are doing. And as usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. And if you want to know which is the next on-demand review, you can find the list in the description of this video. Classic Sonya once again scored 63.1 and we label her as a good character. See you in the next video guys. Take care.
No sweat.